your first script. All right, so you're ready to start hitting the doors. You've never sold door-to-door or solar before. You got to get your first script. What do we say? Well, I've broken it up. The classic model is a little different than the way that I would approach it. We'll still use elements of the classic break preoccupation, problem, solution, pullback, set the appointment. That's good, but we can get a little more specific on what that actually looks like in a door dynamic. To give you an overview, a framework of what this looks like, we're basically going to have an intro, a two-way dialogue, and then we're going to set the appointment. And within the two-way dialogue and the intro as well, we'll have the problem, the solution, and pullback. But we're going to run those loops over and over and over again. And when I say loop, the classic looping for sales is the feel, felt, found. If you don't know what that is, you don't worry about it. You don't need it. It's not what you should be doing, right? Like the classic looping is like, oh, like someone gives you a resistance, right? It's like, oh, like I'm not interested. Oh, dude, I totally feel that. And Johnny down the street felt the same way. But what he found was when he talked to me, he was actually interested. It's basically just saying, look, your concern's invalid. Don't do that. When I say loop, what I mean is we're going to loop back through the problem, the solution, and we're going to pull it away over and over and over and over again until we get to that emotional level and we actually understand their situation, how it's affecting them, how they feel about it, and what they want to do about it. So in order for you to have a script that's evolving, because my script is evolving every week. I'm adding new things to my script. I'm taking things away. I'm constantly refining it. But in order for you to get to a point where you can do that, you need to have a bare bones skeleton foundation of a script to build off of. So this video right here, if I had a brand new rep, this is how I would tell them to get their first script, to build that foundation, so then we can build off of it. And there's a lot more exciting things that we can put in after this script. But even this script alone, I mean, this is a 6-figure script right here, for sure, no question. So with your main script, you're gonna have your intro, the two-way dialogue, and then we're gonna set the appointment, okay? Your intro, there are 5 steps to your intro that I want you to pay attention to. And the next video here is going to be all about writing out the intro. So go through that video to get more specific. With our intro, we're going to start with a curiosity generating question. What that looks like, the classic one is, hey, I'm just here with the net metering program. Were you here when they switched the meter out on the side of the house? It's kind of vague, sounds important. They're curious. What does that mean, right? That you want them to ask that after that question. Number 2, then movement. So curiosity, oh, you don't know what that means? Okay, cool. Well, let me show you how you're involved. Maybe they're not willing to come all the way out of the house, but even then I'm still pointing, I'm having them look, I'm putting something in their hands, giving them a slick, walking them out of the house, looking at the power lines, looking at someone else's house who has solar or something. Movement, right? Curiosity, movement, a purpose statement, which tells them, hey, basically this is the problem, this is the solution, and this is how it would affect you. But I'm not, right, the number 4 takeaway, I'm not quite sure we could do that for you yet. So I should ask you this question, and that throws you into the two-way dialogue, right? So intro, recap, curiosity, movement, your purpose for being there, take it away, and then question into the two-way dialogue. Now, when we get into the two-way dialogue, and basically your whole script, I don't want you to think of your script as this long paragraphs of words that you have to memorize. Instead, you're going to have 4 to 5 questions that are like, they're your pillars, your benchmarks through your conversation. So your door dynamic it's dynamic, it's organic, it's really unpredictable. However, you can have 5 questions that are solid that you can always bring the conversation back to these 5 questions. And so what those 5 questions are, they can be different for you. I'll give you some examples here and then you can swap them out, tweak them as your script evolves. So what are the 5 questions that I would give to a newbie for their first script? First, I would give them a curiosity generating question, something that just right off the bat triggers some amount of engagement. And then I'm going to give them a sequence of questions that goes into the problem that helps them discover if there's even a problem there to be solved. And if there is, then that will create space for them to offer a solution. So what does this actually look like? One of the most classic, Jeremy Minor, right? The confused old man. I've used this one a ton. Knock on the door. Hey, are you the homeowner here? And just that alone triggers so much curiosity and engagement. It'll draw them in. And then the way I would have them get into the problem, I'd ask the question about what they're paying for electricity. I'd say, yeah, so most of the year, I know it's pretty low, but how much are they making you pay lately? And then regardless of what they say, the response is, That's a little high. Has it always been $150? When you moved in, like, were you paying $150 7 years ago per month for electricity? Like, did you just drastically increase your usage, or did the rates just go up? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And have you done anything to try and lower the bill, or what are you doing to keep the bills low? And then right there, they'll tell you if they've done anything, maybe they've done solar. Anyways, those questions right there, though, I'm going to have them trigger curiosity. And then we're going to get right into the easiest pain point. There are other pain points we could go into. But for my new rep, I'm going to say most people don't like their electric bill. Now, if you are curious why instead of they say, oh, my electric bill is $200. If you're curious why I didn't say $200, that's crazy. How are you affording to pay $200 for your go watch the video on triggering curiosity and engagement and not triggering resistance. Because when we say $200, that's crazy, what are they saying in their mind? I mean, how many times do they say that to you? Well, it's only $200. It's not that bad. But when they say 200, yeah, it's about $200. You say, it's a little high. Now you didn't fill that space, so there's space for them to fill that space and say, well, a little high. Well, yeah, I don't want to pay. Or even if they say their electric bill is $600 and you say it's a little high. Can I ask how long that's been going on for? Right, like what are they saying in their head when you are like not even like phased by a $600 electric bill, right? So now that my new rep has their 4 or 5 questions that they're going to use in order to trigger curiosity engagement and then get into the problem and finding the problem and if there's a problem to be solved. Now I'm going to fill in the gaps, right, with statements or questions to transition between those questions and take this potential customer on a journey to understanding their problems and their current situation. So, are you the homeowner here? Okay, my name's just Trenton. I was wondering if you could possibly help me out for a sec. Did you get the slip in the mail about the power lines through here? Okay, well, I can show you how you're involved. I just walk out, right, and show them the power lines. Well, we're in what's called an energy crisis, and what that means is our supply is far less than our demand for power. And because of that, the state has some initiatives just to take some stress off the grid. I just do the risk assessments. But were you here when they swapped the meter out on the side of the house? Okay, and you probably already know this, but that's how they charge us for electricity. And I know most of the year it's pretty low, but like, what are they making you pay lately? Okay, $350. That's a little high. Has it always been $300? Wait, that's for a month? Or that's like $300 for 4 months or how much? That's for 1 month. Has it always been $300 for a single month of electricity? Okay, and just so I understand, did you drastically increase your usage or was it just your rates going up? Okay, yeah, that makes sense because what they're saying now is if you can produce your power on site instead of paying to have it delivered, then they would just lower the bill. There are different ways you can do that. I'm not sure which options, if any, could possibly work for you. That's why they have me doing the assessments. But if it were to work out, they would just lower the bill. The survey's pretty quick though, and then I'll just leave you with some notes. They have the meter. Do you know what the model number is on it? Okay, yeah, let's take a look at that. Your electrical panel, your electric bill, we just have, okay, right, and then we go from there. So this script, we can add so much to it, but just this alone, just finding the pain and then probing, going deeper into the pain. It's not just, oh, your bill was $400. Cool. Well, I can cut that in half. No. Your bill is $400. Yeah, that sounds a little higher than it should be. Like, why is it $400? Where is all that electricity going? Are you pretty careful with how you use your power, or do you not even think about it? $400, is that a low month? Help me understand. Like, how does that affect you when that happens? Right, we go through the layers. And if you need to understand the 3 layers of the problem, go check out the active listening video, and you'll understand going through the facts to get to the emotion and how to get to the emotion. Also, probing, going deeper, getting to the emotional level. That's where our prospects start to persuade themselves. So your first script, go get it, and then check out the other videos on how we're going to start to evolve this script and grow it into an ever-evolving, like, master gangster script.